today's video is a requested tutorial on the look that I was wearing in my SkinCeuticals product review video and my July favorites. If you haven't seen them both, I will link them on the screen here and also in this description box. So you guys asked for it. I got a lot of requests for this look, so that is what I did for you today. Your wish is my command, and we are doing something very colorful but still wearable. It's not super out there where it's not appropriate for any occasion, really. Personally, I love the way the blues and greens work together. I think they complement each other really well. And I'm using one of my newest obsessions, the Too Faced Totally Cute eyeshadow palette. I talked about this in my July favorites. Thought it was really cute. I had my son decorate with the stickers that came with it, so this is a very sentimental piece for me because he actually decorated for me the exterior and also the backside. I thought that was really cute and fun. So this is what the palette looks like if you're not familiar with the Totally Cute eyeshadow palette. This is the color range in this palette, and I do think it's really beautiful, and I absolutely love the colors, the pigmentation, everything about this palette is just really awesome. So I use it today for this look. I hope that you guys will enjoy it, and if you want to see the entire look, then keep watching. Alright, so to start this look off, I'm going to take the light color, which is more like a skin tone color for me, and it is matte, and it's called Double Scoop, and so I'm going to apply that all over my lids, over my foundation that I've applied, just to kind of even everything out and help with blending later on, and I'm using a Wet n Wild brush. Next, for some crease work, I'm going to start with my transition shade, which I'm going to use my Benefit Hoola bronzer on this Royal and Land Nickel crease and smudge brush that I got in my Ipsy bag. I believe it was last month or maybe the month before. And I'm using the fluffy crease brush to apply that to my crease area, sort of as a transition, so that when we go in with the darker shades, it will help with blending and it'll create a nice sort of gradient from the crease up to the brow. So I am going just a little bit higher than my natural crease with this Benefit Hoola bronzer. I'm going to go back in with some of the shadow that I use, the Double Scoop, the Matte Ivory, to clean up any of my harsh edges, or if I went up a little too high, that's a nice little tip for you there. Then I'm going to take the shade called Clover, and it's a beautiful spring green, and I'm going to apply that with the Sonia Kashuk eyeshadow brush. And I did have to fast forward this quite a bit because it took me some time. The color's pigmented, but I wanted to make sure it was nice and smooth, and I wanted to really pack on that color, so that's what I'm doing. You could definitely take the same brush. If you have something small like this, when you load it up with the eyeshadow, you could spray it and then apply it. That would create more of a foiled look if you're interested in doing something like that, but I didn't. It's very pigmented, as you can see, but I wanted to make sure that it was really saturated in the inner half of the lid. So working on the outer half of the lid, I'm going to take the shade called Storm Cloud, which is a very deep teal, very intense, very shimmery, metallic-y. So I'm going to use the same Sonia Kashuk brush, and I'm going to start by applying it and just sort of patting it because this has a lot of fallout, you guys. So just keep that in mind if you have your concealer done like I do. So just sort of patting it on and kind of just doing like a patting and swiping motion where the light green meets up with the teal, just to create a nice gradient so there's not like one starts and one ends. You know what, you have to kind of blend this out a bit. And then to work on the outer edges of this color, I'm going to take the Makeup Geek Outer V brush and start just window sweeping motions just to kind of soften that. I'm not really pulling it up too high because I don't want this shimmery shade in my crease, but I just want to make sure that the actual teal meets right where my natural crease is, so that there's not a space between that dark color and the orange shade that we're going to be using in a little while. And then what I'm doing is just making sure, again, with the point of that Sonia Kashuk brush, making sure that it follows the natural shape of my lid. And then to work on the crease, I'm going to take a small semi-pointed crease brush. This is one by Zoeva, which I love, or Zoeva. And I'm going to take the shade called Bunny Fufu, which is a matte orangey color, very warm, and I love it. So I'm going to start building this up, and it's going to look intense and kind of harsh. And I did fast forward this because I spent a lot of time slowly adding and building this color. But it's going to look a little harsh, like I said, until you go back in and blend. If you're going to follow along, I really just sort of saturated that crease area, following the natural shape of my crease. and just kept packing on that color because I'm going to go in and blend it, obviously, with another brush, which is basically exactly the same, but just larger. Same brand, Zoeva. And I'm going to start blending back and forth. And I'm going to add with the first brush and then go back in with the bigger brush and blend it out. So it's just sort of going back and forth, adding, blending, adding, and blending, just to make sure that everything is as seamless as I could possibly get it. So if there aren't any harsh lines, you know, it's the key is blending, which I'm sure you heard of before and you've heard me say it plenty of times, but I added quite a bit because I wanted it really orangey, and it's totally customizable to what you prefer. And then I'm quickly adding a little bit more of the teal before I move on to the next step, which is applying that same Storm Cloud shade with an angled brush to my lower lash line. And I probably went, I would say, maybe 3/4 of the way in. I didn't want to go all the way in with this. You could, but I chose not to. And I did not press record for the inner corner, so I took that same angled brush with the shimmery color that's in it to highlight my inner tear duct area, which you will see here in a minute. Then with the Vega eyeshadow, the Moondust one from Urban Decay, I just took that and patted it right over the blue and green shadows. No primer, nothing sticky on top, just straight from the pan to my eyelids. And then we're going in with some liquid liner. I do apologize for missing out those clips there, but anyways, going back to the liner, I suggest wiping this off really well because it's very liquidy. And I'm just going to apply just a regular line of liner, just following the natural shape. You could do liner any way you want. You could skip it or go thicker, put a wing on it, whatever you want. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you add some mascara, especially if you're going to be using some falsies, which I am. I decided to take the red Cherry WSPs, and what I did was I cut a set in half and then double stacked them. So as you can see, this is what they look like. Thin and light on the inner corner and then thicker on the outer corner. And I'm using the House of Lashes glue. Right, so we're moving on to the face, taking the same Benefit Hoola bronzer with my e.l.f. complexion brush. I'm going to start by applying this sort of like contour and bronze at the same time. You guys know how I do this. If you've been watching my tutorials long enough, you know that I just try to combine contouring and bronzing in one step just because it makes it easier for me. And I'm going to just apply that pretty heavily. Actually, I went, you know, more full glam that day. And I'm also going to take it around the parameters of my face just to kind of warm everything up. And I am using a new foundation, by the way, and I will have it listed in the description box because I already had my foundation on at the start of the video. Love this brush. It's so great for applying powder products. And then I did go a little too heavy, so then I went back with a clean brush to kind of soften everything out. And I got a new product. This is the Champagne Splits by Becca and Jaclyn Hill. I'm using the blush in Amaretto with the Morphe E4, I believe. It's the angled brush. This is from their older Elite collection. They have a newer version of it, but just any angled blush brush would work. And I'm applying this. It's such a beautiful color. I'm so glad I finally went ahead and purchased it. Then for highlighting, I'm going to take the shimmery kind of champagne color, and I'm applying that with a Morphe M501. I did mix the two colors. One of them has like kind of duochrome type look, so that's the one I'm applying on first. And then I'm going to go in with the shimmer, which is really going to intensify it and make it super duper glowy. So the two shimmery shades that are in the palette is what I used. Love it. I've been doing this pretty frequently since I purchased the palette, and it's probably my favorite highlight at the moment. And then for some lip stuff. So the Milani Color Statement lip liner in All Natural, lined and filled my lips in completely with that. Love this, my favorite lip liner. Then some MAC Creme de Nude over the top of that. And then I felt like it was just a little too nude. So then I went with my Tartiest Glossy Lip Paint in the shade Obvi, which, as you guys know, it's my current obsession. I'm obsessed with this color and this formula. Love it. They did such a good job with these lip glosses. And this is the completed look. Alright, so that concludes the tutorial. I hope that you guys liked the video. I love this look, as I said before. It is so pretty, and this is my second time wearing it within the last week, and I freaking love it. Love that palette so much. So I appreciate you guys being here with me today. Let me know in the comment section what video you want to see from me next. If there's a specific tutorial you'd like me to do, just let me know in the comment section. As always, I love hearing from you guys, and thank you for taking the time to watch, to comment, to like, and please subscribe if you haven't. If you have, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Have a fabulous day, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.